Banner Knowledge Bowling, I'm Steve. Let's talk some bowling. Specifically, I want to talk about Motiv's ball chart. It's a great tool. So to take a half a step back, remember, I feel there are only 5 adjustments that you can make in bowling. The first is you can change your line. Where are you standing? You can move your feet left or right. You can increase the angle, throw it more towards the 10 pin with a lot of belly. You can go right up the lane. You can change your release. You can come up the back of the ball, or you can come around the side and everything in between. You can use the ball chart. We'll get to that in a second. And then the last 2 I like to combine. You can change the speed and loft, all to manipulate or to make an adjustment how that ball goes down the lane. Let's focus on Motiv's ball chart here. Now the ball chart has 2 components to it. It's up and down, and it's left and right. The higher we go on the ball chart, if we go all the way to the top, that's for the heavy oil conditions that we face. As we move down the ball chart, in the middle you're going to see it say medium oil, and all the way at the bottom you're going to see it says light oil. Now what makes a ball conducive to light oil versus heavy oil? And it's 2 components. It's the core, it's the weight block that's inside the ball, and it's the cover stock, and how that cover stock will slow down given the friction or lack of friction that's on the lane. So when we look at the light oil balls, they tend to be smaller cores with cover stocks that can handle lighter oil. And if we go up the ball chart, we tend to get bigger cores, bigger weight blocks with cover stocks that really want to dig in when there's not a lot of friction out there so the ball can slow down. Because remember, the ball will not hook if it does not slow down. Another thing to think about with the weight block is if you would take a bowling ball and cut it in half, if it's the same on the left and right side, then that is a symmetrical weight block. But if no matter how you spun it, but if you had an asymmetrical weight block, if you cut that ball in half, it's going to look different on the left side versus the right side. And the more you go higher on this chart, so the balls that are the heavy oil higher up, they tend to have bigger, more dynamic weight blocks. And they also tend to have stronger covers as opposed to going down. But you're also going to see that there's a left and a right on that ball chart. So if we look to the right side of the ball chart, we're going to see it says angular. And if we look to the left side of the ball chart, we're going to see it says smooth. And what that means is an angular all the way to the right, that means the ball will act very fast when it finds the friction. And to my way of thinking, the ball's going to get down the lane. When it finds the friction, it's going to react quickly to it. It's going to have a lot of angle. That's what it's going to look like, a hockey stick shape going down the lane. On the left side of the ball chart, it says smooth. That ball, when it finds the friction on the back part of the lane, is going to react slower to that. It's going to be smoother, and it's going to look like a banana, is how I like to classify that. So not only can we get a stronger or stronger ball for the heavy oil or a different kind of core for the light oil, but we can have both angular and smoother ball reactions. All this is very important to help tune in your game to attack the conditions that you're on. And sometimes when we're bowling, we're looking for more angle, and sometimes we need that ball really slowing down. We might need to go smoother. Comes to mind if you're bowling in a sport shot or you're at a tournament where there's a more difficult shot. When you have a lot of angle, when the ball's very, very quick to respond to the friction on the back part of the lane, it's going to be hard to control, and sometimes it may go a little longer and come in behind the head pin, or slow down a little sooner and go right through on that angular side. If we get to the smooth side, you're going to be able to have a little more miss at that break point and control the pocket a little bit more. The trick is to get the right kind of shape so that you can knock the most pins down. And Motiv's ball chart is an excellent tool for helping you to dial that in. Let me know your questions. Put them in the comments below. Thanks a lot.